y'all, and welcome to today's video. I bought the new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. We're gonna swatch this palette. We're gonna play with it. We're gonna create 2 eye looks. I'm gonna tell you what I think of this palette. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. Let's jump into it. Y'all, this is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I bought this as soon as I could. I love Natasha Denona. We have a really pretty neutral color story, but what stood out to me about this palette is we have some deep dark shades, both in mattes and not matte formulas. We have light mattes and we have light non-mattes. I don't say shimmer because there are some like different formulas in here. Shimmers, metallics. I'm excited. I like when palettes go from light to dark, and I think we're going to be able to create some really pretty looks with this. So this palette is available at Sephora, Ulta. I will link it down below. It's also available at the Natasha Denona site. If you shop Natasha's site, you can use code Heather to save. That is an affiliate code, and I will put that and links to this at other retailers down in the description box in case you are curious. I am definitely curious. I know there are some new formulas in here, so I want to talk about that. I'm really excited to play with this, put it on my eyes. So let me go ahead and pop up swatches so that you can see how this palette swatches up and a close-up of the palette when it's nice and new. So there are several different formulas in this palette. We have mattes, metallics, sparkling foiled shades, sparkling wet effect shades, sparkling glossy wet effect shades, metallics. Like, I'm excited to play with these formulas on the eyes. I usually wait to swatch palettes after I've played with them, but I went ahead and swatched this one. I am taking a little lunch break from homeschool, so we're gonna create 2 looks with this palette. Now, I know a lot of people were wondering if this was gonna be super different from glam, retro palettes like that. Natasha's more like neutral or pinky palettes. I have those palettes. I have a lot of Natasha palettes, and I really don't see overlapping shades. Maybe a couple of shades in the same like vein color family, but these look like all new shades to me. I don't think anything's super similar. This is more like cool toned browns with these like cooler toned pinky shades. I think it's going to be really beautiful. I'm excited to play with some of these shimmers on the eyes because I just love Natasha Denona's formula. One of my favorite brands. I just think no matter what, the shadows perform well. So I'm going to put down an eyeshadow primer. We're going to do 2 different eye looks today. I'm going to let you know my thoughts at the end. So let me grab an eye primer and we'll jump into it. Okay, I put down my Sigma eyeshadow primer, and we are going to start with a matte shade. I want to start with the shade Stone. Right up here in this corner, I'm going to pick that up on one of my Singe Beauty brushes. I do my best to let you know what brushes I'm using when I do my eye looks, just in case you have any questions. But of course, you can always use what you have. I try to let you know everything I'm doing, but of course I love my Singe brushes, so I will link to everything I can down in the description box. I try to link like literally everything. If I can, I'll link my shirt, my hair tools, things like that, anything I can. So I'm just dusting this kind of all in this like socket right in here, above, below, just kind of really getting that there, because this is just going to be like the start of our look. But I'm going to take a little shadow too and bring it maybe up above the socket here to kind of lift and open my eye a bit more. Then it's like, I have my kind of bone right here, so I want to lift by bringing that color right up that way. Okay, instead of keeping this eye like more monochromatic, I want to dip into the shade right here called Vague. Now, you can definitely create an all more neutral look with this palette. This is mostly neutral tones, but I do want to pull in like some of these maybe like peachy pink shades. I think those were a fun addition to the palette. Like they make it just not just a cool toned neutral palette. It gives you a little more variety. So if you want to do something maybe a little more romantic inspired, you can dip into these pinky shades, have a little fun if you are somebody who only wears neutral shades. I'm picking up a good amount on my brush, so I am getting a little fallout. That's me, because I'm picking up a good amount and I'm like pressing this on. I want that pigment, and I'm just like talking and being a little messy rather than focusing on what I'm doing. So if you see a little fallout, one, I don't care about fallout. I'll wipe it away at the end. But two, I'm being a little careless with my application. But I'm just pressing that on, and now I'm going to blend it. And I am using a brush from my Sigma favorite set. It is always in the description box of my videos. Okay, let's add some depth to the outer corner, my favorite. So I'm going to take the shade Silhouette right here, this deep dark brown. I'm going to pick this up on another brush from my Sigma set. I'm going to just look down into my mirror, and I'm going to put that right on top of the eyeshadow primer right here in my outer part of my lid. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit more and just kind of bring it up on the lid. And then I will start to slowly blend it out like this, so that I have this nice dark outer corner. But I'm just going to take my time blending like this. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let me get a little bit more and kind of press and blend. So far, these three mattes are Natasha Denona mattes. It's what I love from the brand, what I expect from the brand. No problems with any of these shades. And we're gonna do some beautiful sparkle on the lid. Okay, let's play with Filigree. This is one of the sparkling foiled formulas. I'm going to pick this up on my brush, and I am going to spray my brush after I pick up this shadow, and then we're going to go in with the shade Muse. So I've got my shade Filigree, and I'm picking that up on my Singe Beauty brush. I did spray my brush after I picked up the shadow. I'm going to be spraying all of my shimmers. I like to do that for a little more intensity and control. And I'm just putting that right here in the center of the lid, kind of blending it in to the edges of that matte shade right there, but not covering our matte inner corner at all. So I'm going to wipe off this brush, and then I'm going to go in with Muse. These are both the sparkling, or no, I'm sorry, the foiled shades or whatever I said earlier. Sparkling foileds. That's right. That's right. That's the fancy name. Okay, so now we're going to take that lighter shade right there, and I'm going to put this on the inner part of my lid. That's so beautiful. Both of these shades look so gorgeous and sparkly together. I'm loving the way that looks. Okay, that is sparkly and pretty, and we have this light to dark blend going on. I'm so here for it. Okay, I want to go in with Mia. This is one of these sparkling wet effect shadows. So I want to try this. I'm going to pick it up on a green unearthly brush, and I'm going to make sure, ooh, I kind of like get all sides of my brush, and we're gonna put this right here on the inner corner and kind of wrap it a little bit. Again, every shade I use other than a matte, I am gonna be spraying with a little setting spray after I pick it up. That is beautiful. Oh, and that looks wet, doesn't it? Like, That's really beautiful. Oh, I like that a lot. That's stunning. That is stunning. Okay, that's just 6 shades for this eye look, but I want to leave the eye look like this. I think it looks really pretty. I'm just going back with that first brush and kind of doing a little bit of a blend, but I like this look. This is a very, like, I was gonna say simple, but I realized we did use like 6 shades, so I don't know if I would say simple, but it kind of looks simple, doesn't it? But it also looks like we have this nice like pinky matte to shimmery wet pink to these neutrals to the deeper shade. Like, I'm into it. I am into it. Very much so. So I think we will leave the look like this and we'll move on to the other eye. Now we're gonna do different shades so I can test more of these shades in the palette, maybe give you some inspiration, but I'm going to do kind of a similar placement because I do have places to go this evening. And when I wear 2 different eye looks, a lot of times, 99% of the time, I will do like the same shape, something like that, so that I still have a cohesive look, because I'm definitely going to be wearing this makeup out tonight. I'm just looking at how the light is catching those like shimmer, metallic sparkles, whatever. I think it's so pretty. But let me throw on eye primer over here and I'll be right back. Okay, primed and ready for shadow. We're gonna go in with Wit, and then we're gonna use Tender. These 2 matte shades are right down here at the bottom of our palette. I'm gonna start with the shade Wit, and I'm gonna pick it up on a brush from my Unearthly set. Well, you know, not my set, but because the brush is mine, but not like my Heather Austin set. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we're gonna start with the pinky shade over here, like this. Just same exact placement as we did with the shade Stone on our other eye. Just kind of blending here in the socket and then up and above to give myself a little bit of a lift. All right, I'm gonna take a Sigma brush from my set, actually my set, and I'm gonna go in with that more neutral shade Tender, just like we did on our other eye, but this is going to be kind of in reverse, right? So we're putting the neutral cool tone brown on the lower lash line, just kind of buffing back and forth. Nothing too intense, just a little something there. Okay, I'm gonna use that dark brown shade called Silhouette again, and we're gonna put it in the same place we did the other eye so that we have that nice dark matte in our outer corner. And I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit right up here, and then I'm gonna take my time blending that back and forth. Okay, now I'm gonna take the shade Travertine. This is a metallic shade, and I'm gonna put that right here in the center, right up against that matte brown shade. So we're gonna start right here, and then we will go into Delilah after that. Okay, I'm taking Travertine, and I'm gonna put that right here. I wanted to use a metallic so you could see like how smooth that is. Like, look at how beautiful that is. It's a very like just smoothing on the lid. If you have texture you don't want emphasized, something like that, this formula is gonna make you look so nice. I really like a lot of texture to shadow, some fun things like that, but I also think there's something so beautiful about a finish like this. So I'm just kind of like pressing it on first, you see, to get it off my brush, and then I will kind of blend back and forth once I have all the shadow off. Okay, so Delilah is one of the sparkling wet effect shades. I've got this on one of the green Unearthly brushes, And I'm just going to put that on that empty space on our lid. Oh, that's so pretty to me. I really like that. Like, that is a neutral but not boring shade. That is truly gorgeous. Oh, I love the way that looks on the eyelid. That's stunning. That's got so much sparkle to it. Ooh, that makes me so happy. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, now we're going to use one of the glossy wet effect shadows. This is the shade Sheen. Ooh. Well, isn't that pretty? Okay. I see it. I see the glossy. That's really pretty. I like this. Okay. That makes me super happy. So you see what I mean about two different eye looks, but the same shape? Now, of course, all of the tones in this palette are on the cool side. They're very neutral leaning. So the looks, like, it is quite easy to get something cohesive because all the shades just work so beautifully together. But I'm just going to see if maybe I need to do any more blending. Throw on liner, throw on a lash, and I will be back to show you how the looks are with that. But here they are, look 1, look 2. Gotta say, I'm super into both of them. Really, really loving how, like, sparkly these shades are. I think this is, oh, it's just catching the light so beautifully. But I will finish up and be right back. Alright, y'all, I threw on some lashes and liner. I will link my makeup details down in the description box. Definitely check there if you have any questions or you're curious about anything. But I want to talk about our I Need a Nude palette. I'm super happy with my purchase. Of course, my videos are here to show you products, show you looks, have some fun. I'm never trying to sell you anything. If you are on a no buy, you're trying to not buy makeup, I hope my video was fun to watch. Maybe you can shop your stash if you're inspired by these looks at all. But if you were considering purchasing this palette, you wanted to know if it's the Natasha Denona that we know and love. Yes, it is, with some new beautiful formulas. This shade right here, Mia, Sheen, and then Delilah are in that new formula. As far as I understand, as far as I know. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I love the sparkle on the lid. I think this palette is very, like, romantic, very pretty. If you were looking for some cool tone neutrals with a couple of beautiful cool tone pinky shades, I think this one is really beautiful. I like this a lot. I love the looks I have on today, and I'm excited to play with this palette more. Of course, after I have tested the shades more, tried the palette more, all of that, I will be following up on this one, but I do feel like I have a good understanding of Natasha Denona's formula, and this palette is very consistent with what I expect from the brand. So Natasha gets to stay a favorite. She gets to stay a favorite brand for me for eyeshadows. She keeps putting out hits. If you're wondering, is this another hit from the brand? Another win? Another beautiful palette? Yes, it is. I do not regret my purchase whatsoever. I'm really, really feeling my eye look, feeling my makeup today. I hope whatever you are doing, you are having an awesome, amazing, beautiful day. I do have lots of videos coming this week. I hope you will subscribe before you leave today so that my videos keep showing up on your subscription feed. Thank you so much for watching, for spending your time with me, and I will see you tomorrow in another video. Bye!